Hi, I'm Genevieve or Eve. I'm Dr. Strasser's daughter, and I'm going to be showing you how to monitor your sleep using the SleepImage app and your own device. So you'll have been given a box like this, and it should contain a watch which will be fastened on your wrist while you sleep, a finger attachment which connects to the watch, and possibly a charging cable, but it should already be charged, so you shouldn't have to worry about this, but it might be there just in case. So in this video, we'll show you how to use your own Apple device or Android device. We're going to start with the Apple device, so if you're here for Android, you can scroll later in the video. For an Apple device, you can use either an iPhone, iPod, or an iPad, as long as it has a Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connection. Here's my iPhone. I'll use this for the example. The first thing that you want to do is go to Settings and make sure that you have your Wi-Fi connected to a local router. Then you want to click on Bluetooth and make sure that it's switched on so it's green. This is just, it needs to be on in order to connect to the watch later. So now that we have those two things enabled, we can go to the Apple App Store and search for the app called SleepImage. Just shows up like this, and it's a free download, so totally safe to download it, really easy. And now that it's downloaded, I can hit the home screen and find where the app downloaded. It downloaded on the screen here from my phone. I'll go ahead and open it, and we get to the sign-in page. So first you want to make sure that this little country dial is selected on United States. And then you're going to want to put in your patient ID, which our office should have given you. It's a specific code. It's going to have letters and numbers in it, so it might look something like, I'm just making one up here, but it'll look something along the lines of that. And then you're going to input your date of birth. So let's say I was born on March 18th, 1998. I would slide all the dials so they match that date. And then I would hit sign in, and it would sign me in. And now that I'm logged in, I've been brought to the select recorder screen, and I have to allow it to use Bluetooth. As long as you have your Bluetooth on and you select through some of the screens, you might get a few pop-ups, but it should bring you to the select recorder screen. And if you turn the watch on, it has a button on top. The watch name should pop up here. And you can also find the watch name on the inside of the box. For instance, this one is 020417. And you're going to want to go ahead and click the link button. So these have a Bluetooth connection. And a little symbol appears on the watch for a split second to let you know that it connected. And now we've been brought to the welcome page. So now that we've hit the little play button to continue, we have this pop-up that asks if we're ready to start recording. And even though the app is ready, we still want to make sure it's set up on our wrist before we do so. And the steps to do that, we quickly fasten the finger attachment into the watch. That just slides in. And the finger attachment slides on your finger like so, and it turns red around your finger when it's ready. And then you can kind of just snap the wrist attachment on. It slides on pretty easily, but you kind of have to pop the buttons in like so. There we go. And after a minute, it should start showing your vitals on the screen. And when it does so, you're good to start the recording. There we go. So now we can tell it yes. And since now the device is connected to my phone and it's reading my vitals and monitoring them and saving them, we can go ahead and go to sleep now. So you'd be fine to shut your iPhone off or iPod or iPad and leave it in the same room where you're sleeping. So for instance, I left mine in the corner of my bedroom while I tested this out, and it recorded my data fine all night. And once it's recording, you're fine basically to leave it for the entirety of your sleep. And in the morning, when you wake up, you can return to the app. It should still be on the screen, even if you turned it off with your vitals showing like so. And you can hit the red stop button and hit yes to stop recording. Then we can hit this little chart button in the middle bottom of the screen, and it'll probably stay, for a full night of sleep, it'll probably say upload status pending for a little bit because it's quite a bit of data to upload. So you're going to want to wait until it changes to the little upload status completed. That should only take a couple seconds to a minute. But once it says completed, you're fine to go on to the next step. Hit the little gear icon in the bottom right of the screen. Then hit connect new recorder and hit yes to unlink the device. So now I'm free to take off the finger attachment, take off the watch, and put those back in the box like so. And the last step before being done is to hit the gear icon again and hit sign out. And you're good. So here's the second half of the tutorial where we teach you how to use the SleepImage device with an Android tablet or phone. So first things first, you want to go to your settings and then go to connections and make sure that you have Wi-Fi on and Bluetooth turned on. And once you've done that, you're going to want to go to the Google Play Store and search for SleepImage. And then go ahead and install that. And once it's installed, you can go and click home and then search your apps for SleepImage and go ahead and open that up. So you may or may not have a pop-up like this. If you do, it's going to be a lot easier to connect to the device. You can just go ahead and click allow all the time. You need to let it use your location because otherwise it doesn't connect to the watch properly. And if you don't have that pop-up, you can just go back to your Android settings and then go all the way down to apps, find wherever SleepImage is, go to permissions, and make sure that location for permissions you have location allowed for all of the time. So as long as it's allowed for all of the time, you can now log into your SleepImage account. You want to make sure that the little dial is selected on United States. Then you want to put in your patient ID, which is a series of numbers and letters that might look something along the lines of that. I just made that up. That's not a real one. And then you'd input your date of birth. So for instance, let's say that I was born in 1998. You want to click the little year up here. It's a little hard to tap on, but it's not too bad. And then you can scroll through the months. Let's say I was born on May 18th, 1998. And you can go ahead and put that in. So now that you're signed in, you'll be brought to a screen that looks like this. You want to go ahead and turn the SleepImage watch on by pressing the power button at the top. And you can click search. And the name of the device should come up. For instance, this one is 020417. You can check that name on the lid of the box, but you probably won't need to unless there are multiple people using SleepImage devices in one house. So we can go ahead and hit connect. And for a split second, the watch shows a little symbol that lets us know that we connected to the right device. And now we're at the Welcome to SleepImage screen, so we can click the green button to continue. So the phone is ready for us to start recording, but the watch is not because we don't have it on our hand yet. So from here, we want to input the little finger attachment, connect it to the watch, like so. And then we want to put the finger attachment on our index finger. It'll light up red when it senses that it's touching you. And then you just kind of snap the watch on your wrist. I recommend just pushing the little holes and it kind of snaps together. And once you have it connected and you sit still for a couple seconds, it should start showing your vitals. It takes a little bit to register, but once it does and you can see some numbers on the screen, you're good to hit yes. So we'll give it a second. There we go. So now that we see my vitals on the screen, we can hit yes to start the recording. And it'll pop up on the screen here in just a second, like that. And now I'm good to go to bed. So what I would do is I would place my device, if it's my phone, I might place it on my nightstand if that's what I normally did, or if it's a tablet, as long as it's in the same room, you're fine to put it wherever, but you want to make sure it's in the same place because we don't want to risk it disconnecting. And you can just go ahead and turn the device off normally, and when you wake up in the morning, you can turn it on, and it should still, the app should still be opened on the screen. So you can go ahead and hit the red button to stop the recording. And we can click the little chart button that's in the bottom center of the screen, like so. And if it's a longer file, which will happen if you recorded for the entirety of the night, it will say upload status pending for a little bit, but after a few seconds to a minute or two, it should start saying upload status completed, and once it says upload status completed, you're good to go on to the next step. So from here, we're going to click the little gear icon on the bottom right of the screen. Then we click Connect New Recorder and hit yes to unlink the watch and its attachment from the device. We can go ahead and just set that back in the box now, like so. And then the last thing you need to do is hit the gear icon again, and then hit sign out and yes. And you're done.